So my platform is based on 4 main key points. The first one is add an additional reading break. I want to fix MRU's parking situation. I want to increase student awareness and advocacy. And the fourth is freezing tuition rates. I think that this is extremely important for student health and mental well-being. As students, we're so overwhelmed daily at our university, and I think by adding an additional reading break, it'll fix our well-being overall. This break would fall over the Thanksgiving long weekend. All we'd have to do is add an extra 3 days and compensate those days elsewhere. To do this, we just need to compensate the hours. So we may go back early 3 days at the beginning of the semester, or we may stay late at the end 3 days of the semester. And obviously this can fluctuate, we can change, it can be 1 at the beginning, 2 at the end. The next issue I plan on tackling is MRU's parking situation. If you're like me, you live 10 minutes away and it takes you an hour and a half to bus, so you have to drive. There's a few ways that we can address parking. The first is Richardson's Way. This is a road around MRU, and basically it's possible that we can add street parking during the day from 9 a.m. to around 3:30 p.m. when it's the busiest at school. My predecessor has already set out plans for this to become true, but basically we'd add daytime parking from roughly 9 to 3:30 on the road. Parking at MRU is extremely important because it's how students get to school safely and how they get home at night. I want to talk to the councilman and mayor from the Southwest Quadrants and address transit. I want to see how long these plans are actually going to take before they're implemented. Next, we have to look at the future for MRU. Obviously, the library will have parking underneath once it's completed being built. If MRU plans to expand and grow to become the institute that it can be, it needs to fix its parking situation. The next issue I want to address is advocacy and awareness. This is the most important to me. This is why I'm running in the first place. Once students are aware of what's actually going on, I know for a fact that they'll demand change. MRU was promised 2 increases in grant funding, and instead they got nothing. If the government is aware that there's going to be 10,000 or more students voting against them, they will have to change their policies and start incorporating post-secondary education into their platforms more. Students keep bearing the burden of a lack of funding, and I don't think this is fair, and I know most students wouldn't either if they knew exactly how extreme the situation was. I also want to have an open door policy. That means if you have any concerns, I want you to come to me. I want to see how you and I together can work through this issue and how I can turn it into something larger. I'll also plan monthly meetings, which means that you can come to me with all your concerns and we'll sit down and discuss them. I want this to be open for MRU students because I want to be the VP External Affairs person that actually listens to students. As students, I feel that some of us are unaware about how hard MRU has been hit in the last few years. We were promised grant money twice, and both times we were not given that money that we were promised. Reminding the government is the main point here. If they knew that their promises kept getting broken and how it affected us, I feel as though they'd actually change. Overall, we also have to look at the long-term plan and realize that the new conservatory can also add revenue to MRU. But I think that as students, we also must make sure the government knows that we're not going to stand back. We were promised money and we expect it. But I'll use every bone in my body to achieve my platform. If that means I have to go to the municipal government, the provincial government, or the federal government, I will fight for students because I truly am passionate about students and post-secondary at MRU.